welcome. Welcome to this beautiful Sunday. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. This is the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living, a center of love where we aspire to be loved, share love, and serve love. Thank you so much for joining us today. And now I will pass the word over to Lonnie, our board president.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. And those at home, I hope you're making your cheese dip. Getting those pretzels out. Yep. Okay.
Because is there a football game today or something? Okay.
Mary,
Okay.
where's Mari? Where's my girl?
There she
Okay.
is. Okay.
We're nervous today. but-
49ers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny too.
Kenny, yay. I knew I like Kenny.
Yeah, I know.
So let's have some fun today. And I love that we had the puppy bowl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
It is our church.
It is our church.
So
Yes.
settle in.
All right. Thank you. So we have Susie is out today and Bill is camping with the Scouts. So let's just do the affirmation for the kids. Okay. Let's place our hands over our hearts and say, we love you. We bless you. We believe in you. You are the face of God. And so it is. Okay. And if there's any kids in the house, if they'd like to come forward so we can sing You Are the Face of God to you, we'd love to have you up here. Hey, y'all. Good to see you. Hi. 3 ladies. All right. All right. Here we go. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. And so it is. Thank you. Now, Jessica, happy birthday. Oh my goodness, happy birthday. Shall we? What's your name? What's your name? What's the birthday? Madison. That's right. Okay, Madison. Happy birthday, dear Madison. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Madison. Happy birthday to you. Yay. And so it is. And so now you'll go off with Jessica, our wonderful Jessica, and Barbie, your teachers, and we'll have a word of prayer to get started with practitioner Peter Frank.
So I invite the practitioners and ministers to stand, and everybody just taking a breath in and releasing that and closing our eyes and settling into this song of happy birthday, in which it brings so many memories of joy and laughter and love and peace, which is what I call God. Just that joy, that fun, that excitement, that anticipation, that love of God, which is in my life. And I know it to be in the life of everybody here. This divine joy, this divine connection that we are always connected to each and every day is a miraculous surprise, a gift for each and every one of us. As this service is too, and unfolds in the most beautiful and miraculous ways. We stay connected as one in God in this joy. And so I let the beauty of today unfold, the beauty of this service unfold, and touch us in deep and miraculous ways. And with that joy and love, I release these words into the law, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Peter. And so we breathe together. Breathing into that oneness, breathing into the knowing that spirit is here, right here in this very room, living and moving and having its perfect being in each of us. Today we breathe and we celebrate our divine connection, not only with our highest and best self, but with each other in this sacred room and with all beings everywhere across the planet. We also celebrate love, joy, and peace and well-being. And because people will ask me after the service, Hugh is not here today because he has a little cold and he didn't want to share the love, the germs. So we gratefully have Reverend Jennifer who will do the sacred reading for us.
A story by Shauna G., an ex-Marine from San Manuel, Arizona, posted in 1440 Daily Digest. In January of 1997, I was discharged from the Marines in Quantico, Virginia. I had a Ryder truck tow dolly with my car hitched to the back and a 6-month-old son and was ready to head to Arizona. I had one stop before heading out. As I turned down a road in a residential area, I realized I was a dead end and there was no place to turn. As I tried turning the truck and car, they slid down an icy embankment. I had to have a tow truck pull them out, and it cost $200, leaving me $300 to get home, which was not possible. People from homes came out to see what was going on. Among them was a fellow female Marine and her daughter. They saw how distraught I was and offered to let me and my son stay at her house for the night, since it was dark and late. As I was getting ready to leave in the morning, she gave me $300 to help me get home. That was 27 years ago, and I still get emotional at the random act of kindness. I don't know how I would have gotten home without that help. I hope this reaches that lady and tells her I still have not forgotten, nor will I ever forget, and it reminds me to continue doing random acts of kindness. Note, 27 years later, ripples from this small event continue to flow. Today, the kindness of an East Coast stranger blesses our center in Ventura, California. Let us use this story to help us remember that ripples are many mirrors demonstrating God's infinite and intimate extravagance. Today, may we cultivate the consciousness to know that ripples are powerful and ripples are real. And so it is.
And so it is. Good job, Jen. Thank you. All right, so let's breathe in deeply. Breathe into that infinite, intimate space that is the divine, trusting and knowing that this spaciousness is within us always. The fullness that is emptiness and the emptiness that is fullness is in our very being. It's in our cells, it's in our hearts, it's in our minds, it is in everything. And so together we breathe into this knowing, and we call it remembrance, remembering who we are. We forgive ourselves for forgetting, and now we take this beautiful opportunity where we are reminded to remember that we are the voice of God, that we are the life of God, that every single person sitting in this room is the life of God, that every single being, seen and unseen, every molecule, every atom in the cosmos is God making its presence known to each of us and loving us ecstatically in all things. And so together we sing, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. In this spaciousness, we rest and remember. And then we bring that remembrance into our open-eyed state as we breathe in deeply. And exhale, gently opening our eyes as love, and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Lee, and this is a song I wrote called Come Back to Love. When we come into this place, we're happy just to be. And yet we let the world convince us we're not free. So lost in expectation, we lose before we start. Blame it on the situation to avoid the things we are. Woo. I know it's hard to read between the lines, so much distraction, so much wasted time. Fear is an illusion and so is time. You gotta find yourself, you wanna find your peace of mind, peace of mind. You gotta take some time to realign. Have a little faith, it's gonna work out right. You gotta take some time to realize pleasure and the pain's always worth the price. Come back, won't you come back to love. If you just know that, do you know that you're more than enough? Whoa. You gotta take some time to realign. Have a little faith, it's gonna work out right. I believe the world is safe and people are good. And we're gonna make mistakes, but we're just misunderstood. So let the silence fill the space that's broken up inside. Tell me how you're gonna live your wild and precious life. You gotta take some time to realign. Have a little faith that's gonna work out right. You gotta take some time to realign. Pleasure and the pain's always worth the price. Come back. Come back to love. If you just know that, do you know that you're more than enough? Do you know that? You gotta take some time to realize. Have a little faith, it's gonna work out right. You gotta take some time to realize. Pleasure and the pain's always worth the price. If you just come back, come back to love. If we could just come back, come back to love. Can we just come back, come back to love? Come back, come back to love. Thank you so much.
So, hi, everybody. I'm going to read you a story today. There's lots of layers and lots of details, so I decided to read instead of just speaking extemporaneously, so I get it right. Okay? So the talk this morning is ripples are real. This is a phrase coined by practitioner Mari Zachary Lyon. A little over 10 years ago, we had a guest speaker come to our center, and that was Nipun Mehta. He's the founder of a global service organization called Service Space. Nipun advised us to do small acts of kindness and trust the ripples. This is based on a theory of morphic resonance. And that means that when a change happens in one place, the change generates similar changes everywhere. It's often called the butterfly effect. When a butterfly flutters its wings in the Amazon, it causes a typhoon in Europe. The theory is based on the idea that we abide in a system of interconnection and that transformation is not necessarily linear. Anybody familiar with that particular path of transformation, right? If I could have made it wrap around us a couple of times, I would have. We saw an example of interconnection and non-linear transformation in our sacred reading that Jennifer so kindly stepped in and did for us. The sacred reading was about an act of goodwill that happened on the East Coast 27 years ago. And today it's having a positive effect here on the West Coast in our spiritual center. So I have a question for you. Do you believe in morphic resonance? In other words, do you believe in ripples? Okay, I see some heads nodding. Well, if you don't, it's okay, because life provides much evidence to the contrary. We all have personal challenges where we feel like only an epic change will fix something that's wrong. And then there's the world. It is thought that the events that change the world are things like big bombs, maniac politicians, huge earthquakes, and vast population movements. It seems that the human race has made a pact that bigger is better, and small acts are insignificant, and ripples of goodness are ridiculous. But let me ask you something. Imagine that you're standing by a beautiful still pond and you pick up a small rock and you toss it into the water. And what do you see? Ripples. Ripples are inevitable in the world of rocks and water. And in the fluid field known as reality, ripples are just as inevitable. Yes, when you toss a stone into standing water, you create ripples in the pond. It couldn't be any other way. And when you toss a kind act into this place called existence, you create ripples in the sea of being. Again, it couldn't be any other way. Ripples are mini mirrors that demonstrate God's infinite and intimate extravagance. Ripples are powerful. Ripples are personal. Ripples are vast. Ripples give us hope beyond appearances, and you will see, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I hope, rippling intimacy, infinity, interconnection, and hope in the story that I'm about to share. It starts with bunnies. Of course it does. I heard that. Many of you know that our center has 2 bunnies. I'm not going to look at Miss Carol when I say this, but they're feisty little stinkers, I call them, because they don't like me very much. To them, I am the scary lady who captures them on a semi-regular basis and takes them to the dreaded veterinarian. And we love the bunnies. We got the bunnies, here they are. Aww. We got the bunnies after a tragedy in my life. Many years ago, when I was in college, back before the invention of the wheel, I met a woman named Debbie and her husband, Jeff. We were best friends. We went our separate ways after college, but our friendship held up. So when Hugh and I moved from New York to Southern California, we reunited with Debbie and her family. Debbie encouraged us with great vigor to get our first dog, Stella. That's me and Debbie and our brother and sister dogs. Two sisters. Our first dog, Stella, and many of you know that Stella is the reason I came to the church 20 years ago, because Stella liked to run on the beach, and I wanted a church that was close to the beach. Just like Martin Luther King. In 2017, the day after Christmas, Debbie died suddenly and tragically. She was loved by many people. She was a medical professional with a wide reach. She nurtured the poorest of the poor and Hollywood celebrities. She had several memorial services, and one was here. At that memorial service, the husband of Debbie's former business partner, who is the chaplain at USC Santa Barbara, he attended the service here. And a few weeks later, I met with him to discuss what he was doing with his college campus after a church, college campus church. His church had grown significantly in the Department of Young People in his tenure, and I asked him, what is your strategy for getting young people to come to your church? I want to learn from you, I said. He had several answers. One was, we have a surfing ministry. He said, we also invite the students to bring their instruments to church, which we did when we did Instrument Sunday several months ago. Then he said, we have pet bunnies on the church property. I'm in, I said. We're getting bunnies too. And our fate was sealed. We went down the rabbit hole together here at VCSL. It was a beautiful process in many ways. Lots of people were involved. We built a beautiful home for the bunnies. We developed a strategic team to plan a bunny care schedule. We voted on names. We constructed a rabbit evacuation disaster plan. Then the bunnies, Emma and Waldo, arrived. Now, they weren't particularly friendly, as I might have mentioned. Monitoring their care was a lot of work, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, you've done it again. What were you thinking, Reverend Bonnie? Which is what I call myself in private. Not really. Did you make a huge mistake? Will people notice that you made a huge mistake? Did you let your grief make a self-indulgent decision for the church? And about that grief, Debbie's husband, Jeff, and I had a plaque made in her memory. And once it was done, somehow it felt intrusive to me to put a plaque for my friend in our garden. Debbie wasn't a member here, and the people who saw it wouldn't know who she was. And again, that inner voice chimed in, okay, you already got partially feral rabbits for the church. Wouldn't putting up a plaque for someone no one knows compound the error of your ways? Welcome to the busy mind of the ego. I doubted my decisions. Then I heard rumors that others doubted my decisions too. The minister is running amok again, the rumors said. But then miracles happened. The bunny planning team forged friendships. We spruced up our gardens and started growing vegetables. That's a picture of Annette dressed as a rabbit and me dressed as a carrot. I don't know why. We called the evolving space Rumi's Field. Several of our volunteers socialized the bunnies, and many found solace in the practice of patience, gentleness, and kindness. Now, if you would fast forward with me 5.5 years later to December 2023, there was another tragedy. Several days before Christmas, there was a car crash on the 126 freeway. The daughter of Laura, one of our church members, was killed in that car crash, and the daughter's name is Amber. On an ordinary morning on her way to work, Amber and her boyfriend were in a head-on collision. They both passed away. I have permission to tell this story, and yet I cannot do it justice, because how can anyone describe the grief of a mother who lost her child way too soon, or the grief of a grandmother, or the grief of Amber's twin sister, Autumn, or the whole family grieving, and the many friends that these two young people touched in their short time here on earth through their significant work and their reach into our community? How can anyone describe the sadness of loss, not only of these two lives, but also the loss of Amber and Johnny's unfulfilled hopes and plans? It's impossible to describe that. And it feels cruel to imagine a world where this can happen. And at the same time, we can look for evidence of God in all things. All things. Even in the places where God seems silent. Even in the places where we feel forsaken. We count the ripples. There are many ripples in this story. Johnny died at the county medical center where Reverend Carol Lotz serves as a chaplain. Carol was a practitioner at our center, and here she planted seeds for a healthy, happy youth program, a program that was and is adjacent to our bunny area before there were bunnies. Carol helped Johnny's family during his passing, and later Carol co-facilitated Amber and Johnny's memorial with me. Amber, clearly a sweet and beautiful person, loved bunnies. She collected bunny figures, and her email address has the word bunny in it. When Laura and her family went to the cemetery to select a grave site for Amber, Laura chose a spot because she saw bunny rabbits scampering where her daughter would eventually come to rest. She believed it was a sign from the other side. Amber's grandmother asked if we could place a memorial tribute, perhaps a plaque on the church grounds, a place where family members could sit in meditation and remembrance. I told her I would ask the board. And then Laura, in church on a Sunday a few weeks ago, was in the social hall. There was a flyer on our concierge desk inviting people to help care for our bunnies. Laura saw the flyer and asked Rhina to take her to see the bunnies. I can imagine she did this to help her feel close to her daughter. Laura and her mother met the bunnies. They chatted with Norm and saw a small meditation garden that we have down there. The meditation garden was donated by Shell, whose wife Patty passed away years ago, and there's a plaque for Patty down there. She made us laugh, it says. Laura and Nancy talked with Norm and wondered if they could put a plaque for Amber in the garden. And at the exact same time, the board and I were meeting upstairs in my office, and I shared the idea of a plaque for Amber with the board, and the board said, yes, of course, let's place a plaque in the meditation garden. Perhaps a wall there where others can place plaques and honor their loved ones who have passed. So you see how all of these coincidences, all of these ripples converged in grace. And yet there's more. The bunny flyer out on our concierge desk that inspired Laura to go downstairs and meet the bunnies. This was an old flyer from years ago, probably about 5 years ago. It wasn't supposed to be there. Someone randomly pulled it out of an old stack of papers and placed it on the table. Laura saw it, she met the bunnies and found a place where she could serve. Then she found a sacred secret garden created years ago where we could share in honoring her daughter, Amber. Later, I asked myself how random it was that the flyer was out there that particular Sunday when we haven't used this particular flyer for 5 years. Was it a coincidence? Who put it out there? Was it Rhina? Was it Lacey? I don't think Lacey's here today. Was it Linda Drevenstedt? Was it God? I think it was Amber. I think Amber placed the flyer to care for her mom. This helps me, and hopefully all of us, to see that there is a creative field of resonance that reaches beyond the veil. It thrives behind the scenes, in life and in the appearance of death, to remind us that much of the time we are temporarily blinded to the true nature of existence. But when we open our eyes and hearts, we see that all of us are connected in life and in life beyond life. Now, I trust that this story will go on infinitely. There will be many, 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 many more ripples to this story, but there is a current coda to this never-ending story that I'd like to share. Remember how I said I felt awkward placing my friend Debbie's plaque in our meditation garden when, after all, she didn't really go here and nobody knew her. I don't feel awkward anymore. In a way, Debbie's friendship drew me to California in 1993 and then talked us into getting a dog in 2002. And then our dog inspired us to move to Ventura and inspired me to work in a church. Maybe that's more than enough reason to place a plaque in honor of Debbie and in honor of the ripples of existence. In Rumi's field. And maybe, if we look at the theory of morphic resonance, we see that a small ripple started in North Carolina in the olden days, back before the invention of the wheel. Maybe we see that this tiny ripple led to a dog in a church. Then the infinite uncounted ripples led to hope for a grieving family, a place for Amber's memory. A place for Amber's memory held in the love of our center, right beside our beloved bunnies, who are part of the mystery too. And most importantly, these tiny ripples led to this morning where all of us can bear witness to an indescribable convergence of grace. Beloved spiritual family, can you see the infinite nature of these ripples, these seemingly random events? Can you also see how intimate these ripples are, deeply personal to address the tasks at hand? And can you apply this theory of rippling and grace and miracles to your own lives? And is it possible that whatever is needed for our own personal healing, for our own personal connection to the divine, is it possible that whatever is needed is only a ripple or two away? There is a positive conspiracy for grace in this world and the next, and the next, and the next. The two are one, and God is always with us. Yes, we live in a world that contains a lot of pain, sometimes pain that is unbearable. But just as light illumines the darkness, darkness, sadness, pain, and hurt illuminate the light. Darkness amplifies the light, causing it to shine even brighter. What would it be like to live in this field of rippling grace? The field is already here. We just get to expand our awareness of it. We build that awareness through small acts of kindness. We count the ripples, and we remember. Ripples are mini mirrors that demonstrate God's infinite and intimate extravagance. This is more than enough. So let's count the ripples now. And so it is. Thank you. All right, let us pray. Thank you. And so together we join into this heart space, this beautiful space that is created in darkness and light, in joy and sorrow. This grace, this God, the Spirit that holds all appearances of opposites. I know that there is only one life, one wholeness, one oneness that embraces everything. And even though it's beyond our thinking minds, we can feel it. We can feel it in our feelings. We can feel it in our being. We can feel it in our soul and our heart. We can feel it in love and in loss. We can feel it in joy and in sorrow. We can feel it and in darkness and in light. And so today we identify with that wholeness. We identify with that place that tenderly holds everything, that tenderly holds all of the details of our life, that place within us that is intimate and infinite, our intimate, infinite friend. We identify with that, and we allow ourselves to remember that this is truly who we are. That when we go through life today and from here on forth, we remember this intimacy. We remember this infinite nature. We remember the outpouring of extravagant good that comes from spirit, that comes from love, that comes through each of us as we connect with each other, and that certainly is thriving and alive and well in this beautiful, beautiful center that we call home. And so I'm grateful, so grateful for the transformation, for the deepening that I know is happening in every individual life. So grateful for the transformation and deepening that is happening in the heart of our center. And so grateful also for the deepening and love and transformation that is happening in our world. Even when we cannot see it, that deepening is there, and we get to choose. We get to choose to amplify it through seeing it and sharing it and spreading it around. Together we know the truth, and the truth sets us free, and I'm so grateful for that as well. And so with a heart filled with gratitude, I bless this teaching. I bless all paths to God: churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics, Sikh gurdwaras, all beings everywhere. And with a heart that is so filled with love and so filled with gratitude, I release these words to the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Bonnie.
My pleasure.
Ripples are real.
Ripples are real. Yes.
And I love the song that coming back to love. It felt like a journey
Yes. Yes.
in that. And so this morning, what a beautiful day. We're all divinely connected by this moment, and it is precious. So as we prepare our offering, I just invite you to be in that center space of a ripple. You are the ripple. We are the ripple. And together we are connected by the ripple. So as we prepare our offering, know that goodness is in the ripple. And I invite you to repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gifts bless many
Our gifts bless many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and turn to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
I believe in miracles, and I believe they happen every day. This life we live, it can be so magical when we know that all we wish is on its way. So let the peace and love you are illuminate this place. Let your happy thoughts shine out like sunbeams from your face, like fireflies in the firelight. We just can't help but glow. We are so much more than we could ever know. The sun and moon can't compare to you. Should you forget who you are, you are made of stars. I believe the universe is making all the pieces fit just right. Even when there's pain and we just can't find the words, they always show up at the perfect time. So let the peace and love you are illuminate this place. Let your happy thoughts shine out like sunbeams from your face, like fireflies in the firelight. We just can't help but glow. We are so much more than we could ever know. The sun and moon can't compare to you. Should you forget who you are, you are made of stars. Ooh, see how we shine, 'cause we're so divine. night. Should you forget who you are, you are made of stars. You were made of stars. Don't you know you are worthy? You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. Don't you know how worthy you are? You are made of stars. You are made of stars. We are made of stars. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Now it's time for announcements. If I talk too fast, which I tend to do, you can find everything I'm going to talk about at our website at www.venturacsl.org. We also have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and we post stuff on what used to be on X, whatever it is today. I don't keep up. So our flowers today, beautiful flowers, are dedicated to happy birthday to my two favorite Aquariuses, my sister Blossom and daughter Madison. Thank you for filling my life with so much love and laughter. I am so proud of you both. Love, Mary Trope. Yay! Oh, I saw Blossom come in. We sang happy birthday to Madison earlier. So if you are new to our center, we have ambassadors. They have teal stoles. So we have Kim down here and Jeanette is floating around. She's in the back. So if you have any questions, please find one of them and they can help you get acquainted with the center and answer any questions you might have. Okay, so we have one class coming up this week. It starts this week. It's called Mental Equivalence. It's going to start February 19th. Oh, no, that's next Monday. That's not this Monday. Next Monday. It's a 5-week class and it goes from 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening with our wonderful practitioner, Linda Drevedstead. This is a 5-week journey that opens the vault to how to for tangible manifestation of what you really want in your life, and it's priceless pricing. I'm going to do a little shout out because I have time about classes here because I've just come off of finishing up Bonnie's class and Susan's class, and trust me, like, take the classes. They ripple out, they ripple in, and they're transforming, and they're really, really great. So I'm not normally speechless, but I am when it comes to that. So take the class, talk to somebody. Several people in here have taken classes. They can tell you their own experiences, but they really do make a huge impact in your life, and they help when we are outside of this mystical vortex that we are in here. Another way to make connections here at the center, we're starting in March. Oh, he's too fast. I'm gonna dance. Starting in March, on March 20th, we have a discussion group that's starting up, and it's going to be called Science and Spirituality on Wednesdays. It's going to be facilitated by Mari, who really loves that we are all looking at her today, and Peter Waring, who Peter doesn't care. We can all look at him. Wave, Peter. So find one of them in the social hall, and they can tell you about their meetup group that's starting on Wednesday, March 20th, and it's going to be a discussion group about science and spirituality. Let's see, their little blurb here says, this monthly gathering, as we boldly explore strange new worlds of quantum physics and consciousness that parallel what the mystics have been teaching us for millennia. I always love when you learn a new science thing and then you realize that, some mystic like meditated it before, and it's like, oh, well, look at that. So let's see. Annual meeting, February 25th after the service. If you are a sworn member, please come because we'll need a quorum. And if you're not, you just want to find out how 2023 shaped up and shook up, please come. We'll have we'll have our reports, and you can find out everything that we did last year. Let's see, anything else? There's a concierge desk. So if you have other questions and you can't find somebody with a stole, Miss Linda Travis said, oh, she already is in there. She's at the mystical, magical concierge desk, which is on that side of the social hall where the bunny flyers were mysteriously resurrected from the vault. So talk to Linda over there, and she can probably explain things better than I'm doing. Let's see. Today we have choir rehearsals for the VCSL Hearts and Harmony. They have rehearsal at 11:30 downstairs. It's in Martha's Hall, and Mary will find a place for you, and you can be part of the really fun group that is our choir. Let's see. Other options. We have practitioners. They're in white stoles. Several of them will be down here in the front, and they love to pray with you. They will do what we call 1-minute miracles. So if you have anything that you're celebrating, maybe you found a new place to sing, or maybe you're trying to iron out some wrinkles in your life, talk to one of the practitioners down here, and they will pray with you. And then we also have back behind here a social hall with the bookstore. It's got lots of books in there. We got the concierge desk. We've got coffee, hot chocolate, tea, cookies. We have cookies today. Cookies. Miss Carol made cookies. So all of the major food groups back there. Just me. It's February, right? It's February. It's cookie month. So and meet somebody. Maybe talk to somebody you haven't talked to before, and reach out into the community. I think that's it. If you're on Facebook, even if you're not on Facebook, when you go home, if you like the service today, share it on Facebook. You don't have to be on Facebook now. We are also live streaming from our website, and we're also live streaming directly to YouTube during church service. So, but if you're on Facebook, share it on Facebook. Let your friends know that, on Sundays you're a weirdo and come here. No. Out yourself as a churchgoer. No, whatever. All right. Bonnie's telling me to just give me a hook. So on that note, taking a deep breath in. And remembering that there is only one infinite source in everything as everything. That one infinite consciousness that connects every single one of us. Every single one of us are these perfect manifestations of divine consciousness having this experience right now. Every one of us. It doesn't matter if we're up here on the stage or out there in Facebook land, 49er fans, Chief fans, people who don't give a flip about football. We are all divine. We are all divine, and we are all perfect, and we are having this wonderful, wonderful experience right now. Because it is the God experience. I know that this service has touched every single person that hears these words. Every single person is changed and transformed and transmuted today. And that change, that opening to love, that ripple is moving out into the day, into the week, into the world. That those ripples are beautiful. Those ripples are magnified by each other and the love that we feel for each other. And those ripples return here safe and in love. And I'm grateful to know that truth. Grateful to know the truth that what we do here matters. Grateful to know the truth that hearts opened are the way we live. Grateful to know the kindness that we share here. Grateful to know God in this moment. And I release my word into the universal law. And together we say, and so it is.